So it's been brought to my attention that because I use this crochet hook, I'm less of a man. What's up, everybody? We alive. Yet another day above soil. I think today it's kind of fitting that I talk to y'all about gender norms. Yep. I'm definitely going to be pushing the envelope today. Oh my God. You're going to be talking about something that's going to rock the boat. Oh no. Well, I'm just going to say what I got to say, and I'm going to leave it alone. And of course, while I'm doing it, I'm going to be making me some plarn, because without plarn, I could use regular yarn, but what's the point when I could have more fun with the plarn? Anyway. So it makes me less of a man because I crochet. I've seen quite a few social media posts, and I'm actually a part of a Facebook group of men who crochet. And don't get me wrong, there are people who identify as LGBTQ who are within this Facebook group. I don't see any issues with it, but I just couldn't help but notice that there has been men on this Facebook page who say that one day that they got their minds rocked by somebody who said that they are less of a man because they crochet. I'd be like, please. I crochet for two reasons. Reason one, I don't like these bags blowing around in the street. I don't like these bags going into the lake, the ocean, any body of water, because the turtles are going to think that these are jellyfish when they become translucent. That's reason one for why I crochet these bags. And reason two is because it's fun. I crochet because it brings joy to my life. If it brings joy to your life, why should you stop doing it? No, okay, I know there's going to be some people who are like, Daru, so what if somebody's going to jail because they're doing stuff they shouldn't be doing? I don't know, like deleting a person? Yeah. If it brings joy to somebody to end another person, yeah, you may or may not need to reconsider your life priorities. But let's get back to the heart of the matter. Because I crochet, it makes me less of a man. I remember back in the day when I was in college, I was an RA. I was in charge of a floor of peers. And I had to make sure that things are going straight and plain, that people felt like they're a part of the community, that rules were being followed and not broken, and that people feel safe within the residence hall. And plus, I wanted to do something as a leader where I didn't have to dribble a basketball or cradle a lacrosse ball, or I didn't have to be a class president. I was the person who I was called to be, and I became an RA. There were some pros and cons about the job, don't get me wrong. I went on rounds, I carried around a duty phone. I also did bulletin boards. When I was a senior, I was an RA for a first-year student floor. And before the beginning of the month, bulletin boards were due. I loved working on bulletin boards. As you can see behind me, y'all probably might not be surprised. It's artwork alone. I love doing artwork. So anyway, I was putting up this bulletin board and there was a resident who walked up to me. And he said, "Drew, why are you doing this women's work?" Women's work? Sir, what constitutes as women's work? You know what I'm talking about. Putting up these bulletin boards is something that women do. So does it make me less of a man because I want to make my community more presentable? He didn't really give me that much of a clear response. But gender norms. And I kind of find it ironic that I not only did a bulletin board on my floor, but I was also in charge of a bulletin board in a different residence hall where I was also a desk assistant, a DA. And each DA had to change a bulletin board each month. During that same month, I put this bulletin board up in the other residence hall. So I'm going to tell y'all about the square of masculinity and the flower of femininity. So you got the square. And basically, you got to have six-pack abs. You can't show emotions. You can't cry. You've got to flex. You got to have a high sex drive. You've got to be pimping women. You've got to be really, really assertive. You have to be aggressive. You got to resort to violence when you're angry. You can't play with Barbie dolls. You can't wear high heels. Wearing makeup is an absolute no. And if you deviate from the square of masculinity, then you're not truly considered a man. Then you've got the flower of femininity. Yeah, women do have their gender norms. You have to have big boobs. You have to wear high heels. Play with the Barbie dolls. Don't play with the Tonka trucks. Heel toe, heel toe, heel toe. Don't belch. Don't burp. You've got to have a size 2 dress. And you've got to be submissive to men. And if you deviate from the flower, then you're not truly considered a woman. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the basis of really negative gender norms. And the sad thing is, we still see these gender norms play out today. So, Drew, why do you want to talk about gender norms? I thought you were an artist and you just turn things from recycled material into art. Yeah, that is true, but I also want to care about your mental health. Because, newsflash, ladies and gentlemen, there's some people who actually self-delete themselves because they find themselves in predicaments where their masculinity or femininity feels like it is being questioned. Now, I've got another newsflash for you. How do you define normal? Is it normal for a man to not wear pink? Is it normal for a woman to not wear blue or green or navy blue? So because I use this crochet hook, I'm less of a man. I mean, it's blue, so it must mean something. I don't get it, y'all. You got people out here that are just rude and judgmental. just because you want to do something that gives you joy. Well, I'm just telling y'all this because I know some of y'all are bothered by people's ignorance. If you want to wear your high heels, go on and wear them high heels because it gives you joy. If you want to play with the Tonka trucks, or if you want to drive a big rig, go ahead, drive your big rig. If you want to put on makeup and make yourself glow up, go ahead and glow up. If you want to crochet, if it brings you joy and if it brings you happiness, then you gonna need to crochet. Yeah. So it makes you less of a man because you crochet. At the end of the day, let's be real. Man and woman, if you go to a cemetery and you dig up a body of a man and you dig up a body of a woman and you put both of those things that you found in the ground next to each other, I'm pretty sure you're not going to notice the difference between a female and a male skeleton. You could probably tell the difference because the headstone may have the name of somebody who was a man or was a woman, but either way, so what if the name was gender neutral? See, that's another thing. There's people out there who are transitioning from male to female or female to male. You got people who are genderqueer and they don't know or they're not comfortable within their sexual identity or their gender identity. And I've known many different people who have gone through that situation. And quite honestly, they go through a lot of stuff and they deserve more respect. They really do. And quite honestly, I've met many different people, not only who were genderqueer or within the LGBTQ community. There's allies out there who are really, really wonderful human beings. Gender norms. Because I crochet, it makes me less of a man. So it makes me less of a man. I ain't stopping nothing. There's a lot of things within our society that discriminate. Death, however, doesn't discriminate. We're still on the road to 100 subscribers. If you want to be a member of the LDX family, hit that button. It's right down below. I'm also going to include the links to my Etsy and Instagram right within the description. I leave you all with much love, good spirits and vibes. Until next time, I see y'all later. I'm out.